Welcome back to our continuing adventures on the Let's Defend platform. Today we are taking a whack at SOC235 or Atlassian Confluence Broken Access Control All Day. CVE-2023-22515. This is dated November 8th, 2023, 9:47 a.m. or 09:47 for the 24-hour clock. Users among us, event ID is 197, and we're looking at a web attack. So it looks like hostname Confluence Data Center, we got the destination IP, we got the source, get, server info, action, bootstrap, status provider, application config, setup complete equals false via curl. Alert trigger reason. This activity may be indicative of an attempt to exploit the CVE previously mentioned, which could potentially lead to create a new administrator account. Device action was allowed. Okay, so let's take a look. So we've got the IP in question. Let's see, on a Windows Server 2019. Dogs are playing. Okay, so we've got the IP, and if we pop that into our typical aspects virus total, dark mode. So let's see, 2 for malicious, 1 for malware, 1 for phishing. Oh, 10 cent. So, wait, US, but 10 cent. Okay. Talos confirms US, 10 cent, and poor sender IP rep. And it is critical spam level, and it's on a block list. Okay. Alien Vault, 5 pulses, 1 passive DNS. That one also confirms malicious. Santa Clara, United States, that it's also 10 cent. And looks like related tags, Atlassian, Confluence data, the CVE, exploit threat, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Soft Ether VPN server. Was it also VPN? And then IBM X-Force, risk 1. Although it does, this one now is different. It points to China. I mean, obviously 10 cent China, but location difference. We take a look at the CVE. Made aware, handful of customers where external attackers may have exploited previously unknown vulnerability. It looks like it's... So what version are we running? If we go to endpoint, we got 803. So yes, we would be at this particular portion running a vulnerable version, because it looks like if you're at the 8.0 branch, you need to be to at least 8.3.3. Okay, their own portion of it. Update your instance, conduct comprehensive. There's our affected version. So we would have to kind of take a look at the administrators group to confirm. To take a look at accounts created or plugins. Oh, so much that CISA got involved. CISA. up there in the upper left-hand corner. Do they specify what we're looking for as exfiltration of data? So there's some examples. User agent strings, so Python or curl. That looks extremely familiar according to the alert that we're dealing with. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's the IP in question. The second one for indicators of compromise. Well, that's no good. We got an exploit script. Oh, this person's GitHub also had one for the last video I did. Interesting. Datadog's got a page on it. Okay, how vulnerability works. Oh, Rapid7's got a post that explains it all. Okay, we'll bring that one up. Vulnerability relies on the fact that it is possible to re-enable the setup process without being authenticated. They squeeze me what? Oh, good lord. Oh, and then, so you can basically restart the setup. And then that will, by process, allow you to create a new administrator account, because that would probably be the normal process. You install software like that, you're going to create the admin account to go through and then start going through and doing everything else. Okay. So we've got a bunch of users that we can look out for to have something created like please patch. Your new admin login. Atlassian SU. Super user. Hooray. We're saved. Okay, so 80, 80, 80. Really? Not even HTTPS. Okay. So what are we looking at? Setup complete faults. Well, they said that it would allow you to go through. So if we take a look at the Rapid7. Notably, our team leveraged the /server-info.action endpoint, which was not mentioned in and that's server info action boots. Okay, so that looks like they're setting up that, okay, setup is complete, is being set to no, and then we got a 200. We're doing setup administrator. Again, that another 200. No, 302, so redirect. Finish setup, yes. And then application, which then just gives us the same thing. Source, Confluence access logs. So the question is, would you generally expect to get a 302, or would you end up getting a 200 if it actually worked? Oh, that's the question. What does gray noise have on it? So at least what we can see is that somebody attempted to use it and it looks like it worked. Now, as to whether or not if there's any more user accounts, that's kind of the question. So if we go to endpoint, and the question is, what would that look like on a Windows system? Per system event logs. It's just the fact that we're looking at 9 something in the morning, aren't we? Yeah, supposed to be. This looks like it's right. Yeah, 9:47 a.m. So apparently we don't have endpoint logs that match in the morning. Well, we get, okay, at least this time we have something that matches. We do have, wait, 9th? I thought it was the 8th. Yeah, it's supposed to be the 8th. I'm going to assume that they screwed up when they were putting the data in. Unless they came back. But then we have a problem. No, because this is all the 9th. Yeah, I think this one might be kind of jacked up. So I'll treat it's the 8th, but I'm just going to treat it all as it's the same day, because unless they came back from the same exact IP to go through and kick this stuff off. November, is there anything in here that's worth a stink? No. And no threat intel inside the platform on the Tencent IP address. Well, I mean, we definitely had it kick off. And that seems to be... Oh. Okay. Confluence security log. Was that what the application one here? Oh, it's the conf. But I'm going to assume that they didn't get a 404 or anything in the 400s. They got a 302. So I'm going to assume that worked. That allowed them to create an account. So we're going to just assume that that's... And then what the hell kind of vuln would this match up as then? So I'm just thinking it's like, okay, this is going to go through. Take ownership. Create the case. Go with the run book. Understand why. Because apparently we had an alert set up to trigger in the event that any of this stuff actually came through. Don't ask me how. Sure. And this is outside coming in. Ownership of the IP address devices. 10 cent. Traffic's coming from outside. Yes. Ownership of IP address, static or pool. Who owns it? Is it web hosting? 10 cents, so it's going to be hosting. Reputation of the IP address. Not great. The traffic's coming from new. Would it be command injection? Well, that's the question that concerns me. Yeah. Command injection. Yeah, the portion for the user agent. So if there's a vulnerability, but would it qualify as, or would we just count this as other because it was privilege escalation? But this is actually kicking off commands inside of the application itself to set. So, yeah. Is it malicious? Yes. I'm torn between command injection. I think I'm going to say other. Because they are directly calling those particular portions of the application. They're not trying to smuggle in like a cat /etc/ password or anything else like that. So I'm going to say other. It's not planned. Direction of traffic is internet to company network. It does look like it was successful because they were able to set the setup complete to false. So we got to go through and now set up. So we're going to have 2 IP addresses. Targeted server. Attacker IP. We're going to have a bunch of things from that point. I mean, I'm either right or I'm wrong. Yeah, so we're going to have, and these were all HTTP, so these are going to be URLs. Pop that in there. We take my notes. targeted server IP. And then we've got the attacker up here inside of everything else. Just grab that, dump that in, and make sure, yes. And then we've got post setup administrator action. And our next one is setup finish action. Okay. So we've got that as our points. So we got the targeted server, we got the attacker IP addresses, and then we have the URLs that were targeted. And that's what we got. Yes, it should go to tier 2 because they're going to want to take a look and audit everything else. So basically user accounts creation. 10-cent IP observed. Exploiting the Confluence CVE-2023-22515. Take that, paste, finish. Close alert, we're going to mark it as true positive, pop that in, and we'll see as to whether or not if I screwed up. Maybe we got confetti, so I'm assuming we're okay. Okay. We got that it was everything else. Is there a write-up? No, there is not. Okay. So we were able to, like, okay, yes, then it needs to go to tier 2, that it was indeed an attempt to exploit the O-Day, that the attack was successful, the direction of the traffic, everything else like that. Apparently my spacing is a little bit jacked up, but that's not too terrible. So there we go. That has been SOC 235 Atlassian Confluence Broken Access Control O-Day CVE 2023-22515 EventID 197 type web attack for November 8th, 2023, 9:47 a.m. or 09:47 if you prefer the 24-hour clock. Dogs are playing. Don't know how well the built-in filter in OBS is going to work to sit there and have that filtered out and hopefully not actually pick it up. Noise suppression. But we'll see. So there we go. I'll get this scheduled to go out, and as always, I will see everyone in the next video.